Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our series on the kleshas from the Yoga Sutras. Last week, we discussed the concept of avidya within the clinical trials landscape. And avidya refers to ignorance. I mentioned the crocodile that is lurking underneath a river, and we are just getting ready to swim across that river, not being aware that we are going to find ourselves in the jaws of this magnificent beast in clinical trials. Avidya is not being aware that we can expand at the clinical trials landscape to diverse populations and just keeping on with the way that things are being done. Today, I want to talk about Asmita, which is the second klesha, and this is ego. What does ego mean? Ego comes from the idea that I am separate and apart from everybody else. There is me living in this world where no one is experiencing what I'm experiencing. I am suffering, and my suffering is so unique to me. There is no other human being on this planet who can be aware of it. And so I'm different. Concept of being unique. Now, unique from the spiritual sense, that's a whole different conversation. We're all unique, wonderful, infinite beings here to evolve and to grow. But the type of uniqueness that I'm talking about is cutting off the rest of the world and saying, I am unique, therefore maybe I'm more superior, or I can do things better than other people. There's something so special about me, and other people are my lowly subjects. That's really what the ego is about. In clinical trials, we have to really think about it, as there are no lone elephants running across the savannah and surviving alone. They move around in packs. I remember when I went on my first safari in Ngorongoro, and I know we came across the corner on this Land Rover. I remember seeing this pack of elephants, the males, the females, the little ones, and I screamed because it was such a synergy between this group of elephants. And again, in clinical trials, the lone researcher, the one who does not want to collaborate with others, the one who thinks that their idea is so perfect and that their product is so perfect and there is no need to share with others, then that is a form of asmita. My ego rules everything. And we've seen this. We're now living in a world where there's open source. We even have clinical trials protocols that are now open source. And I think it's a wonderful way to move forward. Because again, I have to have a shared experience. The unity of humanity has to permeate all sectors of life. In clinical operations, ego does not work either. We all work together. We all work as teams. I remember I was having a conversation with a team member and they were going to host a meeting and they said, oh my goodness, I have to figure all these things out. I have to get it right. I'm going to correct it. And I just said, remember, you're a facilitator. Your role is to create a space where people can come together and share wonderful ideas. Sometimes the ideas might conflict, but at the end, we all come to a decision based on the synergy of the whole. Asmita says, release the ego and become a part of the unified field. Remember Sethram, the field from which these things arise? It's in that sense. We have to release the ego and become part of the greater whole so that we can all contribute. In clinical trials, we want to ensure that we are not bringing products to the market that are created from an egotistical standpoint. My product is only for specific groups of people. My ideas are perfect. I'm not going to share it with anyone. And I'm going to make sure that only certain people who are like me, us, the unique people of this world, we are the ones who actually benefit from it. Just to close here, we are moving towards unity. We're moving towards oneness. We're making sure that no one is left behind. And yet as part of the whole, whether I'm in clinical operations or I'm operating in my life, we are part of the unified field. And it is from this field that wonderful clinical trials are brought forward. Different types of patients can benefit from these products that are coming to the market. And if you are watching this, you probably are thinking, this is very interesting. Take the next step and apply it to your field of interest. If it's in clinical trials, learn more, understand how you can be part of the whole. You in your team, in clinical operations, you're not operating in a silo, you are operating as part of the whole. And then also, how can we engage different types of people? And that way we can run trials that are for the greater humanity versus a subset of the population. I thank you guys for listening. I look forward to your comments and your feedback. If you want to join our free community, make sure to do. We have a lot of wonderful resources that are curated for you, those of you who are interested in this melange of the ideas of the Yoga Sutras, diversity in clinical trials. And I will see you on the next one.